While the activists that are running rampant within the industry aren't going away anytime soon, it seems that Alyssa Mercante might be switching up her profession because she's announced that she's leaving Kotaku and she may actually become a narrative consultant. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, obviously, Alyssa Mercante is someone that I'm sure most of you know. She was a writer at Kotaku, a senior editor, and she just simply is one of the worst people within the video game industry, in my opinion. And instead of actually trying to do good while writing at Kotaku, focusing on doing things like writing game guides, for example, and doing deep dives into titles, she decided to constantly attack gamers, do really mediocre work in totality, and now she's announcing that she's leaving Kotaku. She said, "Work news, after exactly 2 years, I've decided to leave Kotaku in my role as senior editor. I am eternally grateful for Kotaku's editorial team and all that they taught me during my time here. They are some of the best in the business, and I will be forever proud to have shared a masthead with them. They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make Kotaku great." And to hold on to their journalistic integrity in the face in the face of increasing pressure to compromise that. It's been a long few months during which I've learned a lot about myself and my value as both a woman and a writer. This is the right decision for me. I have some things coming down the pike, so keep your eyes peeled. Now, obviously, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, I wouldn't really be sitting here calling Kotaku great and saying they've held on to their journalistic integrity. I can't even keep a straight face when I'm saying that. But she is claiming that she's decided to leave Kotaku, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of speculation on whether or not she was actually fired, because over the past year, she has caused a lot of damage for Kotaku, specifically regarding Sweet Baby Inc. and narrative consultation companies and Gamergate 2 in totality. She is somebody who, yes, is kind of at the forefront of Gamergate 2. She is somebody who's trying to defend the industry from the kind of shill perspective, from the internal perspective, people that are either working at development companies, working at outlets, and she's gone directly against content creators like myself, for example, but instead of actually trying to write really good articles about, the good that Kotaku does, or even that companies like Sweet Baby Inc. do, she's constantly spewed hatred on social media towards individuals like me and other, YouTubers, content creators, gone after them, their personal lives, like Smash JT, for example. She constantly tries to belittle anybody that disagrees with her, like threatening to fight multiple people, like, again, myself, like Melanie Mack. She just really doesn't know how to act professional, and she has done a lot of damage to Kotaku. But to be fair, Kotaku is an echo chamber, right? They are filled to the brim with activists and people who are of the same mindset of her, radical leftists. So I really don't believe that she got fired. Maybe she did, who knows? But one would assume we would see a lot more people with that mentality also being fired, because there are so many people at Kotaku who have also done a lot of damage, like Carolyn, for example. Kotaku can't get better, right? So you might as well leave these people in their jobs and not fire them for having their own opinions, because we can't save Kotaku. So it really doesn't matter to me if they exist or not. Obviously, I think it's funny to point and laugh at their shit articles, but on the flip side, I'm not going to revel in someone potentially losing their job. But she's claiming that she left of her own volition, so you would think, oh wow, she's got a lot of big plans. And we have a idea as to what these big plans are, because she right now is in Montreal at Xbox Game Studios Compulsion Games. And if you don't know, Compulsion Games is currently making South of Midnight, which is, yes, a Sweet Baby Inc. title. So she is in Montreal, where Sweet Baby Inc. is, visiting a Sweet Baby Inc. game. I think over the next week, we are going to see a podcast episode with her and Kim Belair. I think that they are going to come out and they are going to attack people, but I also expect now Alyssa to become significantly more unhinged. I do think that now that she doesn't have a company behind her like a Kotaku, I do think that we will see either her going to work for a company like Sweet Baby Inc. and continuing to try to do irreparable damage to the industry, or she's going to put out a plethora of hit pieces on basically everybody she hates within the industry, like content creators, whether they are on YouTube or X. I think that we are going to see potentially her behavior becomes significantly more erratic and unstable. And I do think that we are going to potentially see that. I mean, who knows? Maybe she already is working for Compulsion Games. Maybe she's already working for Sweet Baby Inc. But I think it's quite interesting because just a few days ago, we found out the link to the Powell Group, that Sweet Baby announced their partnership with the Powell Group. Yes, Powell did end up deleting it from their socials, from the webpage, from the LinkedIn. They really tried to hide it, but of course, the internet doesn't forget. Though I had actually pointed out this has been a partnership that's been cooking for a very long time now, because a year ago, Kim Belair did a podcast with Indie Game Business, which is the Powell Group Initiative podcast, and they were established in 2018, the same year Sweet Baby Inc. was founded, but Powell Group does have podcasts. They do have multiple websites, so maybe Alyssa could also be working for them. And at the end of the day, of course, all these groups are working together, right? But we do not know at this point in time, though she's saying that she's got something big cooking and she's in Montreal visiting a Sweet Baby in game. I think that over the next couple of days, things are going to get very interesting. Now, of course, I do not feel bad for Alyssa because she constantly wants to try to get people deplatformed that she dislikes. She tells her followers to report people, to basically go and harass them, and she's willing to push the boundaries of what is acceptable online. She is contacting people's wives. She will find your job, and I think that that is really scummy behavior. When she claimed months ago that she was being doxxed, I came out and I said this is absolutely not okay in any capacity at all whatsoever. It is one thing to criticize somebody for articles or videos that they put up on a social media platform, and it is another to go after someone's family. So I don't know what she's going to do. Either way, though, she is still going to be part of the video game industry. She is probably going to continue to do damage, but I do think that this is interesting to see that now she has reportedly left Kotaku as a senior editor and she's got something big cooking. So only time will tell what that is, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.